All right, everybody, we are back with Mega Man 10. Our next partner is going to be ProPieceRTA. So, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and kick it on over to you. Good luck and have fun.
Oh, well, this is Mega Man 10. I ruined the Mega Man block because I had to work, so you're seeing Mega Man 10 now. I guess since we're behind schedule, I'll just get into the game and explain things later. So 3, 2, 1, go. So Mega Man 10 is the 10th classic game. This game was released in 2010 originally for Wii, Xbox 360, and PS3, and then recently released for PS4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, and all that through the Legacy Collection 2. So this and Mega Man 9 went back to the original, like, just jump and shoot, no sliding, no charge shot. Mostly because in 9 they wanted Proto Man with sliding and charge shots to be the DLC, and then Bass with dashing is the DLC character. So Pump Man is one of the most straightforward levels in the game, where you're just in the sewer trying to just pretty linear. So I'm gonna try for a trick here where I kill the Susie early, and it'll skip a bubble cycle. Okay. Okay, I got it. Gonna grab that E-Tank because it only wastes like 0.2 seconds. So what I did there was I kind of just shot it 3 times early while it was a bit off screen, and kind of just predicted where it was gonna go, and then I killed it, and then didn't have to wait for the bubble cycle. That probably saves like 6 seconds, I don't remember exactly how much. So Pump Man's a pretty straightforward fight. You just have to kind of mash into him, and then there's a property with Mega Man, I think it's the same in 9, where you can kind of like get inside objects without, because not the Mega Man's full buster isn't a hitbox. As you said there, it's just pretty straightforward. If you're not good at mashing, you can kind of time the invincibility frames to run out and just shoot him that way. So then Pump Man gives us the water shield weapon, which is one of the better shield weapons in the Mega Man franchise. As you can see, you can create a shield and shoot it off, which is kind of a gimmick with every weapon, where every weapon in Mega Man 10 kind of has a secondary effect, which we'll get into when I get each weapon. Whoops. One rush. Okay. I kind of placed rush too far to the right there. We're going to start with Solar Man. Just a little bit of a vertical section. So Solar Man's, well, I mean, I guess every stage is linear in this game. I can't really say they're not linear. But this is probably one of the harder stages to learn when you're originally learning this game, because there's a lot of just timing things you have to remember. Oops. Oh well. So that was Suzak and Phoenix. I guess I was kind of focused on playing, so their RNG is kind of on a global timer. So you could just, as you saw, that they kind of went up and down, and then you can get really bad RNG. I know there's a way, if you play the start of the stage a certain way, you can get a certain pattern, but I've been too lazy to learn that, so. Okay, good. I timed that rush up just a bit so I could just squeeze in between those fireballs. good. That trick's kind of hard to... When you're first learning, you don't have to kill that first guy, but you have to get on the platform fast enough and back damage boost off of his missile, so you can go through the flower. So Solar Man, he's just annoying. He gave me really good luck there, but he can go in either the 2 pits or the middle, and you want him to go in the rightmost one or the middle, which thankfully he did go in the middle. So now we get the Solar Blaze ability, which its secondary effect is it kind of shoots out that little fireball, and then after a time, or when it hits something, it'll split into 2 different kind of fire waves. So Chill Man, the return of ice physics. So this level is also kind of difficult to learn. I guess every level has its quirks. No, whoops. That's what I get for not paying attention. So I'm trying to explain the destructible blocks, but that was one thing that was kind of introduced in this game, was those destructible ice blocks. But luckily we can just use either Solar Blaze, we'll see Solar Blaze used to destroy them later, or Water Shield just to break right through them. Oops, I have to wait. So what I tried to do there was Solar Blaze and then quick swap to Rush Coil, just so I can avoid that shield guy hitting me. It's fine. That section can be pretty scary sometimes. I had to kill that Stomper so Darko didn't yell at me. So I guess I forgot to explain that this game has quick weapon swapping, which makes some boss fights really interesting. Because you can see you can cancel the weapons, and that was a terrible fight, but if you shoot a weapon, then swap off of it with L or R, then it just disappears, so you can just give it into enemies and kill them really quick. So we'll see the 2 effects of Chill Spike in Nitro Man. So the first effect, as you saw, just lands on the ground and has a spike, which can be used as a weapon in itself. I just need to focus for a second for this trick. Oh, I placed it too late. What I tried to do was I tried to place Rush Coil and quick swap to Water Shield, and then it would have blocked the Sniper Joe's bullets. And secondary effect of this Chill Spike is anything that runs over it, like the truck, will die instantly. But if you hit the truck directly with the Chill Spike, then it'll freeze, which you'll see later in this level. So this level is big. Whoops, well, there you got to see it. That's not where I intended you to see it, but that's fine. Now I forget where I was going to go with this. I guess I was going to explain that Nitro Man isn't too difficult to level, it's just remembering the timing of each truck. So with that screen, I tried to time everything up so the last solar blaze would just barely hit the Sniper Joe, so I only need to shoot one. Oh boy. Yo, that was decent. That was a pretty decent fight. So the gimmick of Nitro Man is he can either start the fight just standing still like he did, jump back and go back and forth, which he did after, or he can jump back and then go up the wall, which thankfully he didn't do. And then with Nitro Man, you kind of saw it where every time you freeze him, he'll his attack pattern will reset and then go to the next whatever he's going to do next in this pattern. So if you're really having trouble with him, you can just keep freezing him until he jumps back. So Commando Man's probably the easiest stage in the game to learn. Most of its time save for the stage itself is on the boss, which I can explain when we get there. Most people use Solar Blaze because it eliminates, because that one of the shooters, I don't remember what they're called, if you don't manage your water shield properly, some of the bubbles will disappear where you need them to, and then the shooter will hit you. So that's why most people will Solar Blaze, then they'll have a full water shield. I'm running out of things to say already, and I'm only like 5 stages in. So we're going to get into a sandstorm here where it will push you back, but if you have Mega Man Sprite off screen, then it won't actually hinder your movement. And then this one is going the other way, so it just pushes you forward. So Commando Man is a very strange boss where whenever he jumps, he loses his iframe, so you could just mash the wheel cutter into him. But if he does a big jump, then you can only get like two good hits off of him. But if he does a medium jump, then you can just mash into him and it'll kill him instantly. Now we get the Commando Bomb, which sends us into Bladesman stage, which is probably my favorite stage to run, because of the variety of weapons you get to use in it. Oops. Okay, well, I remember he's a Mega Man 10 runner as well. He had a strat for that first section, but I don't remember what he did, so I messed it up and disappointed him. So as you saw, that was the wheel cutter's secondary effect, where if you're holding it, then it can just send you up the wall, completely just ignoring climbing ladders. Whoops. Oh boy. Okay. So the Tri-Castle, it's not too difficult, it's just kind of knowing where to hit it with the water shield. Now we're just gonna jet across this spike section. I've run myself out of things to say, so I'm trying to make something up off the top of my head. I guess I can talk about the Blade Man fight now. Unless you want to talk about the marathon or something.
I mean, I'm always down to talk about this awesome marathon. I just wanted to remind everybody what we're raising money for. We're raising money for Canadian Cancer Society. They have a lot of game-related events every year, and you know what? Let's everybody, I'm sure, either know somebody who has had cancer personally or a friend who has, you know, a family member or another friend who has had cancer. Every little bit definitely helps, and I mean, it's just we appreciate everybody's support, whether you're able to donate or not. We really appreciate you. And don't forget, everybody, to follow our awesome runner as well if you want to see some more cool Mega Man content.
I stream Mega Man probably like once a month, so. Or at all. Alright, so I guess I can explain the Blade Man fight now. So as you saw, the Commando Bomb has a secondary effect where it was an actual like shot, a projectile, but once it hits the wall, it turns into an actual bomb and explodes. Whoops, I don't know what I'm doing. And then if you hit Blade Man in the correct spot, then it'll do 2 shots. Or it'll do 2 hits worth. Whoops. And then we got the triple blade, which is probably one of the most useful weapons in the Mega Man franchise. Because it does... So each blade does 1 point of damage, or 2 if it's weak to it. So if you just get right in their hitbox and shoot them a bunch, then it'll do 3 times that. Whoops. Hit? No, I'm not. So hopefully I can get the Strike Man quick kill, which will require me to do like a shot, quick swap shot, and then pump shots into him. Okay, well, he gave me a big jump, so that's when it's free. If he does a small jump, then I'll have to quick swap a 3rd time, then just hope it hits and then I can just mash into him. Funny emotes. Now we got the Rebound Striker, which is a projectile in itself, and then every time it hits a wall, it increases the damage output. I think it's like 4 or 5 times it can hit the wall before it just gives up if it doesn't hit anything. Sheepman is an interesting level, and it introduces these disappearing platforms. So if you step on a certain color, then all of those will. All of that color that's connected to it will also disappear. Then we're coming up to Octobulb, where you have to charge it to make it vulnerable. I'm way too far back. That's... yeah. Yeah. Okay, well I guess I'm bustering it. You get to see the quick kill in the Wiley stages. Oh. Maybe I should have triple bladed it. What I tried to do was kind of time the Commando Bomb, so all of its kind of ripple effect will just... The ripple effect of the Commando Bomb will kill the Octobulb instantly. This is like the... What is this? The third time I've done Mega Man 10 for Game Over Cancer, and I still can't play the game while talking. They just keep letting me play it because Mega Man 10 is okay.
I mean, you do an awesome job at the game, so yeah.
I'm giving wonderful commentary. Thank you, Baggles, for the encouraging words. Messed it up. So what I tried to do is kind of get a diagonal shot and then another back diagonal shot, so it would hit him, and then one would go behind him, and then he would just fall to the ground. And then he can either go back up instantly or shoot an electric ball at me, which he did, but since I didn't get both hits, it didn't kill him. And then you want to stand just a little bit farther back so you can go diagonal down and then hit a diagonal shot into him, which will increase the damage output. I feel like I'm butchering these explanations of the weapons, but there's no new weapons to deal with anymore, so...
I think you're doing an awesome job, especially as somebody who's never played a Mega Man game. Your explanations are super helpful.
Thanks. So this is... We're already on the Wiley stages. So Wiley 1, we want to kind of do this first section exactly, so we can get the first spawn, or get a certain spawn every time, which is Elect Man, which you might have seen this guy before. So those were the weapon archives, which is it's just a callback to the 1 through 9, minus Rockman Forte, because that game barely exists anyway. So it's split into 3 sections, so we saw a boss from Mega Man's 1, 2, and 3, which was Elect Man, Woodman, and Gemini Man. And then it's 4, 5, and 6, and the third one is 7, 8, and 9. I tried to shoot a triple blade fast enough there, so it didn't kill the football, but I just back damage boost off of it anyway. So hopefully, Napalm Man spawns first, which he didn't. Oh, and I missed. Okay, so I wanted Napalm Man to spawn first because he's kind of annoying to... Rebound Striker is kind of annoying to swap to. But I dealt with him properly, but I missed a bunch of shots on a Ringman. Oops. I didn't. What I tried to do there was... I don't exactly remember how it's determined, but that spider is kind of determined on how you jump on the platform. I think if you like bump the ledge a little bit, then the spider will spawn in a way where he'll just jump in the pit instead of doing what he did there. It's extremely weird, but that's how Mega Man 10 is. It's based on movement and not getting pickups. And that's one thing with Triple Blade where I tried to get into the Sniper Joe's hitbox, but since I was a little bit too far in, the one of the Triple Blades just went right through him, so I had to wait for it to go off screen, so I just kind of walked into him. Okay, so I kind of had to focus for that, so I couldn't explain it too well, but... So for Slash Man, which was the first one, you have to place a chill spike and have him jump on it. So with a strat I created just to make it easier on myself because I was too lazy to learn the proper fight, I just sit in the corner and wait for him to get to me. So I just hit him with 2 shots, and then I just try to remember how to play this game first, and then kind of place one so he lands on it, and then place one behind him so when he jumped, he just landed on it by proxy. What weapon am I on? I'm on that weapon. Wiley 2 is probably the hardest stage in the game. Oh, I messed it up. I went way too early. So this stage is just a giant global cycle. So these crushers are based on global cycles, and then there is another manip for the Suzak and Phoenix. But again, I don't remember how to do it. And I messed up Octobulb again. No luck with Octobulb today. Okay, well at least I killed him in one cycle. Well, I guess 2 cycles because I missed the first Commando Bomb. I'm sorry if I'm not like commentating Wiley 2 as well, because Wiley 2 is a really tough level, and a death will send me back very far. Okay, so I should be good, barring I don't fall into a pit. Okay. So again, those crushes are on a global cycle, so once I figure out what cycle I'm on, it's not too bad. But just going in there blind is almost impossible. I used to know with certain Suzak and Phoenix patterns, I would know where I am on the global cycle still without even a minute, but I don't play this game anymore as much, so I don't remember. So that was a Crab Puncher, where he actually gave me a really good pattern, where sometimes he can just hide his eyes, because that his weakness is his eyes. You can kill his claws just so he doesn't like hide his eyes behind his claws, but that's a big waste of time. So you just hope that he just stays like in that form, I guess. And you just pump Commando Bombs into him. If you run out, you either M-Tank or use Triple Blade. And I grabbed an M-Tank during that level, and then usually most of the people that run this game use it right after Crab Puncher. I don't remember why. I think it's just so you have Triple Blade and all that back. But you could use it after Chill Man and the Boss Rush, because you mostly just need Solar Blades. Now we're on the elevators, and I guess one thing, if you ever play this game, to worry about is the I almost got crushed there. Those buttons, the green buttons, are still like pixels in the air. So sometimes if you go over spikes and then go to jump on the green button to move your platform, it'll there will be a spike waiting for you. And I've lost multiple PV runs. PV pace runs just to not remembering to watch out for the spikes when you're passing by them. Whoops. I guess I can explain the goop these Mets give you are they just pretty much just give you permanent ice physics, or until it goes away. I mean, then you're kind of, if you go to walk without jumping when you have it, then you'll kind of just trudge against the ground without movement for a couple seconds, and then you'll go. And that's the big effect, where you can't just start walking from a standstill with it. So what that was I put rush coil against the spikes, and then the door doesn't actually activate until those platforms appear in the elevators at the very top. So I just wheel cuttered up the wall with it, and then once it was ready, the door just let me in instantly without me needing to actually jump up and go to it. So this is the Block Devil. I'm going to try and set up shots just to hit its eye. Don't play this game on easy mode because this is like half speed. I missed the first one. Okay, that was an awful Block Devil fight. But you kind of got the understanding of it, where you just do the same thing with Sheepman. You just kind of line it up properly so you maximize the amount of damage. Now we are on to the boss rush. I'm gonna grab extra. It's just in case. So I was really low on Rebound Striker, and the weapon energy at the top probably wouldn't give me enough to kill Sheepman. So this is the boss rush, a staple in the Mega Man franchise. Whoops, I shot once. I got it, and then I shot once instead of mashing into him. So I guess I'll explain Pump Man first, and then I'll explain the theme of this boss rush. Well, it's not really a meme, but something I find interesting. Oh, why did you jump twice or 3 times? So Pump Man can jump 1, 2, or 3 times before he jumps really high and then shoots his water shield at you. You want him to jump twice because there's I don't know exactly how it works, but there's a property where if he's in the lightning and then you hit him with more just pump Thunderwolves into him, it'll do like the same amount of damage as just the lightning hitting him. Whoops. I don't know how that happened. So yeah, it's just go through every boss again. So I'll just explain quickly that it's weird to me that the boss rush in this game, I'll just do this, it's lined up with how the stage select is. Like this is Blade Man, and it's at the top right of the stage select as well. Wait, so since we're just fighting bosses, if we have donations or you just want to plug the marathon again, then go ahead.
Of course, I'm always happy to plug our marathon, because what are we here for? I mean, other than these awesome runs and the runners. Which, by the way, !R will give you our awesome runners Twitch channel, so definitely go give him a follow. So what I want to talk about is our incentives, guys. Our awesome incentives. So our next coming up incentive is Donkey Kong Country 3 Color Bid War. Do you want to see the original? Do you want to see the alternate? I mean, it's up to you guys which one we get. So definitely get those in. We also have an incentive for Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, upgrade to Legend Hunter. So if you want to find those, exclamation point I for those incentives and exclamation point D for those donations. Let's get them in, guys. We are so close to our $2,000 goal. I know we can hit it before the night is over.
But that was a perfectly timed plug because now we're on to the Pirate Wiley. So the good runners, because I already used my M tank, I needed to use a W tank, but the good runners will just use whatever they have for Solar Blaze because they actually have good Chillman fights and don't run out. And then they'll just triple blade the rest of the damage away. And as you saw for the second phase, you just coil. His weakness is because Capcom loves to make final bosses have the worst weaknesses for like what. So he's in the air and then you have Water Shield, which is just a shield weapon. So I just coil up and the Water Shield will hit him twice. And then if you're good, you can avoid damage and then shoot, go like near him and then shoot the whatever you have left into him for a third hit. But I never properly learned it. Now we're on to... We're in space for some reason. Whoops. I went to avoid it, and then I kind of just still got hit. And we're grabbing Chill Spike because that's the final Wiley's weakness, and you'll see why I'm very upset at Capcom and to create, because Mega Man 9 and 10's Wiley capsules have the worst weaknesses possible for what the boss is. So I guess I'll quickly explain that this fight is very random, and there is a manip for it. I don't know how to do it, so we're gonna go in blind with this. So you can see Wiley's in the air, and we have a weapon that automatically just falls to the ground. And time is coming up, by the way, just so everybody's aware. And I'll call it out. Petty backdrop. Well, we're in space. There's the moon or Earth. I can't really tell with the graphics. Oops, and time. Oh, 38, that's horrible.
GG, that was a really interesting run, and I mean, you came under estimate. That's always a good thing.
Oh, I didn't read your comment properly, Baggles.
Alright, well, while we are wrapping this up, is there any shoutouts you want to give before we move on to the next round?
Shoutouts to, I guess I'll shout out the Marathon, because they've let me play Mega Man 10 like 4 times now. I'm happy to play Mega Man 10 for a marathon every time. And I'll shout out to Darko_RTA. That's my boy.
Awesome. Alright, well, thank you so much, and GG again. Alright, everybody, make sure that you stick around because we have more marathon fun to come. Up next, we have Super Mario Bros. 2 by Stewie Cartman, so stick around and we'll be right back.